DTLS News.
Hi, I'm Taylor Pixton.
And I'm Darren Nguyen, and on today's newscast, we're going to take you deep into the problem of how agriculture caused a rise in the epidemic of animal abuse.
A long time ago, we were hunter-gatherers. We lived off the land. We spent our day hunting for meat and gathering fruits, vegetables, and berries from the land. The way we lived didn't have any environmental problems or chemical emissions. But with the rise of agriculture came a rise in population and the need for more food.
These increases led to the need to mass produce the food that we so desperately need. The problem with agriculture was the dependence on only one kind of crop. With hunter-gathering, there was a wider variety of any kind of food, while agriculture had a more restricted diet.
We have some interesting opinions on how the problem should be solved.
Let's cut to Lauren Reed. She is on our farm in Hesperia, California. She is here to bring us images of the horrific conditions cows are living in, as well as other information on catheters.
Thank you, Darren. In these short clips, you'll see cows on one of the better quality farms. Are living amongst so many others and are standing amongst their own feces. So what qualifies as a CAFO? A CAFO is if a farmer keeps his animals in confinement for 45 days on a 12-month period. There is also no grass or vegetation growing in the areas where the animals are confined. Some places keep the animals in confinement with thousands or even 10,000 individuals. Land for growing food for livestock has now taken up 70% of all the land not covered in ice. The feces from all the animals in one place produces a lot of gases like methane, carbon dioxide when the organic materials within the feces break down. Carbon is a greenhouse gas, and with so much in the atmosphere, heat is just bouncing back towards the planet, heating up our world. To keep the amount of feces on the farms low, it is drained into the rivers or lakes, and the extra nutrients can simulate huge algae blooms, which deplete the water of oxygen, thus killing the fish. With the water this contaminated, we have to add in even more chemicals to keep it safe. These big companies are advertising cheap food, when in reality, if you add in the environmental, health, and economic cost, the food is actually really expensive. These larger farms have to internalize their costs, and some end up being less efficient than the small town farms they've replaced. Even though this type of farming ensures a reliable source of food, we are slowly killing ourselves because of all the steroids, hormones, and pesticides that we are putting in our food.
It's insane. If we continue down this path, there won't be any planet for us to save.
So true. Let's cut to Sarah, who is going to talk about animal rights and the way they are living.
Thank you, Darren. I am here at Centennial Farms to bring you live footage of the way that animal cruelty infects our own county. Here we have a small pen of chicks, and there's at least a dozen of them in there. And it's not a very enclosed area, and a lot of the chicks in the corner don't have enough room to move around. And in the 2008 ballots, there was Prop 2, which gave rights for animals, and in Prop 2, it said that all animals have to have enough space to move around when enclosed in an area. Okay, so come over here. You can look, there's birds everywhere all around the pig cage, and they're eating the poop, and yet they're flying off to other people with the food, the feces still attached to them. And this is how diseases are spreading, because they're going around everywhere, and it's just like how someone has a common cold and they cough on someone else and that person gets a common cold. This is exactly what's going on with the bird world. In 1958, the Humane Methods of Livestock Act was created. In this act, it is required that all animals are stunned before they are killed for poultry. It's usually referred to for cows, lambs, and pigs, and it's not required for chickens and birds, since most food that we eat is usually chicken and fish. Over 1 billion animals are killed each year just for food in the United States. And this cow over here is sitting with a bunch of fleas on it. And in order to get this stopped, we're going to need all of your help to treat animals correctly. Back to you, Taylor.
Wow, I guess we really are what you eat. Next, Sarah will be talking about how animals living in their own feces is spreading disease even faster, along with others in close quarters.
So come over here. You can look. There's birds everywhere, all around the pig cage, and they're eating the poop, and then they're flying off to other people with the food, the feces still attached to them. And this is how diseases are spreading, because they're going around everywhere, and it's just like how someone has a common cold and they cough on someone else, and that person gets a common cold. This is exactly what's going on with the bird world. So the feces stop, and then you get the big boar is just going through his own little rummages over there, and that's a pretty good way to get sick. Yeah.
I can't believe this is going on in our own backyards. This is how all of us are obtaining our meat, through the pain and suffering of the animals that we raise for food.
Long ago, animals were thanked and worshipped for food. Elaborate ceremonies were performed when a kill was made.
We are too far gone to actually go back to hunting and gathering, but we could change the way we raise animals. There are many farms that have gone back to the original form of farming, in which the animals are respected before they are killed. The way these farmers raise their animals actually makes them healthier than the animals raised in industrial farms. Laws are put into effect that give animals more rights, that would make living more comfortable. The animals were given more space, and some types of pesticides were no longer used because they were harmful.
The one thing that we still need to change is the type of food we are giving to animals, such as corn for cows who eat and were made to eat grass. Chickens are also fed parts of other chickens that cannot be used as food for humans. Chickens are supposedly to be strictly eating grasses and occasional worm or larvae. If we go back to the way that we used to farm, it would be both healthy for the animals and better for us.
One day, we hope that we can look back on our progress and be proud of our accomplishments.
I'd like to thank Lauren, Sarah, and my co-anchor Taylor for providing such insightful information on animal suffering. See you next week on
DTLS News.
Newscast. Stop. We are going to take ET.
A long time ago, we were hunting.
Today's abuse.
A long time ago.
I don't know.
Yeah.
On today's